Goodness me! In the 5th minute of additional time had put Leyton Orient in front, and Leyton Orient have come from behind and surely have picked up 3 precious points.
Welcome to Orient Live. It is a massive day for the Odes as we travel to Northampton. I'm Ollie Buck and I'm joined here in the studio by Glenn Wilkie and Elliot Byrne. And well, it feels big, Glenn.
Just another game, Ollie. Come on. Just another game is worth 3 points. No, looking at the table, of course, I can understand why supporters, I've heard must win, I've heard big game, massive game. Yes, it is. We need to, regardless of who we're playing against, yes, we can keep a foot on Northampton if we do get the 3 points today. But we just need to now sort of concentrate on these last block of 15 games. Forget what's gone on before. Try and forget what's gone on before. Say, right, we start afresh. Let's go from there. Regardless of who we play, go on, try and win the game. Yes, it's against somebody down there with us at the moment, but it's just good to get back to winning ways, and worst case scenario, you walk away with a point and you don't lose and you stop that losing streak. It
was a positive performance at Stockport, a 10-day break on the training pitch, and then a very bad night on Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday was obviously a disappointing day. And I think disappointing more so because the first half had some promising signs in it. We were well into the game, heading into half-time, and we let it get away from us. We've got to try and take the positives from our last away performance and clear our head. Try not to, as Glenn says, try not to focus too much on the negatives and try and focus what we're good at and see if we can get a result today.
Although final score just confirmed down on the south coast, Plymouth have just beat Cardiff 5-2.
Great side.
Good side.
A great side. My stat I said earlier, Plymouth have won the most games away from home this season out of everyone in the league. So yes, we didn't play well on Tuesday night. We've lost the game. Very, very frustrated because of where we are in the league. But they are a good side away from home, and they've just proved they're pretty good at home now. So we've given them a bit more confidence, and they're going to be the league leaders. So Tuesday night, get that. That's gone. Don't forget about that. Don't dwell on that. Concentrate on today's game and move forward.
That's the thing about the league, though, isn't it? Everything's so tight that if you can put together a couple of results, a couple of positive results, everything will look so much rosier. So hopefully that starts today and we can kind of build some momentum, and then, come the end of the season, we'll be thinking what we even worried about.
A slight change in the coaching staff, then let's touch on that quickly. Alan McCormack's left the club, Paul Gallagher in, something a bit fresh, something a bit new. Hopefully that might have a bit of an impact to the lads.
Definitely, and that's got to be the thinking behind it, right? So a new coach comes in, fresh ideas, different training sessions, freshens it up for the players. I'm not saying they did the same old thing over and over again, but it's just a new voice in the camp. From what I hear, I don't know the guy, but from what I hear and saw on the interviews with Richie and that, he's a bit of a joker. He's sort of a good sort of person to have around the changing room when confidence is low, maybe heads are low, they're going through a bit of a time at the moment. Get somebody fresh in there, new ideas on the training pitch, but someone who can sort of just raise spirits a bit. And I think that's a really, really good thing, what they've done now. I've never seen it before with a coach going out the door sort of throughout the season. I've seen people being added, but I've never seen one go out through the season. But it's a real, hopefully it has a positive impact, whether that's today or he needs time to bed in sort of for the future games.
Absolutely right. Well, Richie does have a new man next to him in the dugout. Let's see how that one works out. But first, let's hear from the gaffer. It's Richie Wellens.
Gaffer, disappointment on Tuesday, but we've got a big opportunity at Northampton on Saturday, a really big game to try and put things right.
Yeah, we need to respond. I thought Plymouth the other night was okay in the first half. Listen, we could have been better. We could have landed on more second balls. We could have put it in better areas like Plymouth did. But coming in at 1-1, especially equalising so quickly after their first goal, you're looking to the second half and being more positive, and we allow a mistake to happen, and we didn't respond well for that. So we need to be more purposeful, less willy-nilly walking around, a little bit overthinking, and try and be more proactive in terms of scoring goals and getting back in the game when we go behind.
You said after Tuesday's game that you may look to amend playing style a little bit. Is that something you've been able to work on the last couple of days?
Not really, George, because if you watch the state of our pitch, we've been able to do 11v11 for probably twice in the last 10 weeks because the weather's been so bad. So that dictates a lot of our work has to be in really, really small areas because that's the only available surface and area that we've got. However, tactically we've been all right. We've been all right. The other day, listen, Plymouth could have counted on us probably in the last 10 minutes because we're giving the ball away in bad areas. But no one really plays through us. We go away to one of the best teams, Stockport don't play through us. Bolton don't really play through us. We need to cut out errors, and there's no doubt about that. And we need to be better in terms of defensive set plays. However, I want to give the players confidence that if they make errors, just react well. Just react. We're going to make errors. It's a human sport, and there's another team on the other end of us that are trying to win and do their best as well. So, give the players confidence. If you make a mistake, it's fine. Just react well.
We've just done a little fact-checking exercise, Glenn, and a coach has been appointed and one left when Culverhouse left in the season when Ling was the manager and Dean Smith came in as his assistant. So maybe Gallagher could go on a similar trajectory as Dean Smith.
Okay.
Enjoy how we've had fact check 10 minutes into the show.
Yeah. I think that's our first ever fact check on Orient Live. Anyway.
Well done, Glenn.
Yeah. Right, let's crack on though. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the O's this afternoon. It is a back three for the O's today, or a back five. I'm sure we'll come on to that debate, Glenn, shortly. I know you like that one. But starting in goal, making his full debut really, in his first start for the O's, is Will Dennis. Jack Simpson and Caelan Casey at either side of the captain, Will Forrester, in that three centre-back setup. James Morris and Michael Craig are in the wing-back positions, with Dylan Levitt and Sean Clare partnering each other in the midfield. Ollie O'Neill and Favour Fuwunmi play just behind Dom Ballard. And on the bench is Killian Cahill, Dan Happy, Josh Koroma, Sonny Perkins, Azim Abdullahi, Charlie Wellens and Theo Archibald. What do we make of that one, Glenn?
Yeah, like every week before the game, the team looks good on paper, doesn't it? Shame it's not played on paper. I like the three at the back. You've got, I think, against Northampton, we know what they're normally like. I haven't seen them much this season, but they're normally quite direct. So having three big centre halves in there to head the ball, I think is good. The only issue I have with that is, do Northampton play the ball down the sides in between the wing back and the widest centre half and try and get joy that way? I think there's pace there. I think Casey coming back in is interesting. Young lad, good on the ball. So is that about, are we going to be playing, do we expect to have the ball a lot more at the back and then we're going to be playing out, or are we going to go a bit longer, or is he in there just for his physical presence? It's an interesting side. I like Clare back in the middle. I think we need that bit of steel in there. Him and Levitt in there will, yes, they can play and keep the ball simple, but it's going to be a battle today. I think all the next 15 games are going to be a battle, and that's, forget how we're going to play. Yes, we want to be pleasing on the eye. We're in a situation where we need points, and I'm looking at that team there. I think it's quite balanced. It's well balanced. Be interesting to see how Morris and Craig do as wing backs from an attacking point of view, because I think they'll be key. And then the front three, they've just got to sort of their rotations, and I feel sorry for Ballard when he's up there on his own, because he has to do a lot of work or he don't see the ball as much as possible. I think it's key for the two attacking midfielders to sort of be making forward runs on, giving it a second option for the midfielders or the defenders when they got the ball. If we just sit too deep and they sit too deep and we're easy to play against and we pass the ball side to side in front of Northampton will be delighted, because they will think, well, Leyton Orient really weak on set pieces, corners against. We'll go and hit them on a set piece and win the game. A bit like what they did when they played us here. So we've got to be a bit more dynamic. We've got to have runners from midfield running beyond their defence, and we just got to stretch the game out.
It does feel like a bit of a bogey ground up in Northampton. Not many good memories there in recent seasons. Do you think this lineup is a case of maybe trying to match them up and play their game almost?
Yeah, they certainly seem to be within the Northampton fans' kind of social media realm, seemed to be a bit of discussion on their recent tactics. I got the impression they play 5 at the back more often than not, and there seemed to be a conversation about whether they should revert to a 4 and be a bit more attacking than they have been. I mean, they haven't had a shot on target in the last 2 games, so they don't score a lot of goals, and that's something they'll obviously be looking to change. So it might be a case of Richie's felt that he has to match up with them, and that might have been the driving force, driving intention behind that change.
Famous last words there about their lack of goal scoring ability, Glenn.
I was just going to say, you are right with the stats. They've not had a shot on target in the last 2 games. However, they did have a shot, but it was blocked by their defender, the opposition defender, on Tuesday night. So how do you do these stats? They're all over the place.
It's not a shot on target.
It's on target, but it's blocked. So whether the keeper saves it or...
Well, that's not on target.
So, yeah, so I'm not having all these stats.
Where does it rank on the XG?
Don't get me started on XG. Out of XG, the only thing what's important is a G. Don't care about expected. I want to know what the G is. How many goals are scored. So I'm a dinosaur. Come on.
Sure. I'm glad you said that. In your knitted vest.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are we gonna expect to see Favour and Ollie either side of Dom? Because we've seen Favour through the 10, but he looks an exciting wide player, and with him and Ollie, that could be exciting.
They're both pacey. They're both good on the ball. It's interesting that with those players in there, I think Ollie O'Neill is probably, he's got that bit more experience. He'll like to get on the ball. He'll pick up pockets of space to get the ball to feet, get on the half turn and go. I think with Favour, like I just said, we want people running on beyond their defenders, so the defenders are going back that way. And if he does do that, it creates that bit of space for Ballard or Ollie O'Neill to get the ball into feet and then get at them. So it's really important, I think, that role. And hopefully they've had enough time on the training pitch to work together and sort of know how to manipulate Northampton's defence. But it's good. I love pace. I love pace in the wide players or attacking players because it scares the living daylights out of defenders.
And Don Ballard, I mean, had a great season really in terms of an individual record and performance, but he hasn't really had a sniff in recent games through no fault of his own.
That's the thing. It's not like he's missing chances. We just haven't been able to fashion very many for him to take advantage of. I think that'll be the key today. Richie's talked about post-match on Tuesday, maybe changing the style, maybe focusing a little bit less on, playing good football and maybe being a bit more pragmatic. And so we might see the ball go a little bit longer today. And that's obviously going to, the challenge is then making sure there are players around Dom, because he's going to be in battles with the centre-backs to try and win the ball and win those flick-ons. It's up to Ollie and Favour to be in positions to receive the ball, to win that flick-on, to drive forward. So that's going to be the key thing, is that we get players around him that he can link play up with, and then our wing-backs and the likes of Favour and Ollie can get into positions where they can deliver the ball and try and find Dom, create chances for him in the box, because there's no better player at that in the league.
Interesting to see, with all the bad weather we've had in the UK in the last 4 weeks, what their pitch would be like. I was thinking, is it going to be, because their pitch is never great anyway, but they've played 8 away games in the last 12, so they've not really been there, so the pitch should be okay, which will suit us because we do like to get the ball down and play. So hopefully the pitch is okay, the weather conditions are okay. I think if we can, and we can be aggressive and get on the ball and win our tackles, Jules, dinosaur, win our tackles and get on the ball, we can play. We've got the quality within this team. Yes, confidence is low, but they're very good footballers. And if we can get on the ball and we're sharp, in and around the box, we know what Ballard's like. Yeah. We know what he's like. If he gets half a yard, he's going to take a shot, right? And like you say, he's not had too many chances recent games, but if he does get a chance, I think he'll compensate for the lack of chances recently.
I looked at the stats before the game as well, and on average per game, we're passing the ball about 100 times more than Northampton are in the game. On that basis, it's possible that we might find ourselves with the ball a lot more than we do without it, and it's then going to be up to us to try and break Northampton down and try and pick pockets and try and be progressive with the ball. And so it is going to be important that the likes of Sean Clare and Dylan Levitt and stuff, Favour and Ollie can get into good areas, but also take risks with it. Try and unlock the defence. We don't want the ball just going around the box and around the box and around the box. We need to get the ball into dangerous areas in the box, and we're going to have to take risks with it.
Ollie O'Neill's going to be key today, leading assistman in the squad. He's going to maybe need to even just step up a bit more. He's the one we're going to be looking to for doing what Elliot says, unlocking defences, playing that killer ball. Yeah,
definitely. And I think with what happened on Tuesday night with his goal, the last few games, he's probably had the most chances out of anybody in front of goal. And he has been quite wasteful, and he's been really frustrated with how he's finished. To get the goal on Tuesday night, hopefully he's now got a bit more confidence, or back to the confident Ollie we know in front of goal, and he'll be very, very good with any shots he makes. But he's got energy. We're looking at the screen here. He's got energy. He picks up intelligent positions, and the goal there.
He arrives
late,
really
because he's coming there, and he's an intelligent player. I think he's come back from that injury, and he's played a lot of minutes. Maybe a bit like Theo today. He's on the bench. He's come back. He's played a lot of games. It's just sometimes players need a little bit of a break, and I think that could have been telling with how he was playing before. He played a lot of minutes, and I think his form just dipped off a bit. But hopefully, in this position where he plays sort of the number 10 position, he's got somebody next to him now who's going to be doing a lot of running. So the onus is not only on him. I just think that it will suit him, and I think he'll be fired up. I think all the squad's fired up. Players don't want to be in the position they're in. They don't like that. They want to change it, and I really do. I am really hopeful that we're going to get points on the ball today.
Well, let's hear from the man himself right now. It's Ollie O'Neill.
Obviously, it's not ideal, the position we're in or the run of form we've been on, but I don't think the mood's worse than it needs to be. We know we need to go and get a result, but mood-wise, it's okay. It wasn't a great game. It didn't feel like there was loads in it. It was kind of second ball. Neither team really settled it, but I thought like we were fine. We were okay first half. Probably never quite got full control of the game, but weren't necessarily under the cosh. And then obviously second half we have a mistake and a set piece, and that just takes some momentum out of the game. And then because the game is quite tight and it's not very expansive, it is still second balls. It's hard then at that stage to kind of claw it back. It comes from a quick free kick, I think, which is nice. James Morris does very well down the left-hand side. Then right for the pullback, and then it's a good finish, to be fair. Probably had a couple in the past couple of weeks that I'd have wanted to score, so it's nice to keep getting those chances, and then obviously they even out over time. I mean, it'd be nice to get one from 2 yards out as well, but I suppose that kind of edge of the box, coming onto the ball and being able to find a corner or something I like doing. I like him. I think he's really good. I think he's good for me. He's calm, he knows what he's doing. Good footballer, he can move, he's athletic, and it's just a natural balance that works. I come in on my right, he wants to go around, or he's very good at rolling inside, underlapping. So it's nice. It does make such a difference to you as a player who you play with behind you as a winger. I'm really pleased. Not been plain sailing the whole time. We had some very bad months, even last season before things turned around. But this has obviously been the most prolonged period where we've not quite clicked and not managed to string together a real good run of form. But look, sure, we are where we are with 15 games to go. So we're at the risk of repeating ourselves, but I do think if we can just go and win a game, get another result on the back of that, you can quickly change and you can quickly put together a bit of momentum in this league. So that's the kind of the situation's clear. We just have to go and do it. I think tightening up a few things, like if you look at set pieces, it's going to be massive, because that takes you from like, oh, we're playing okay, it's a bit of a 50-50 game, bang, we've won 1-0, take that off. Or we've drawn 0-0, we haven't lost 3-1 on the Tuesday night, do you know what I mean? So I think tightening up things like that, because it's not like we're going out and getting battered and we're looking thinking, where's the point coming from, where's the win coming from? We're there in most of the games we play, we're just not picking up the results. So I think tightening up on a few things like that. We appreciate the back and we want the fans to stick with us. They need to stick with us because it helps the team and it helps the club that they support. We have to play well and work hard enough to justify that. But as I said, the situation's clear, so we've no choice but to stick together, I think.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the US, giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
You have a choice. You can waste 20, maybe 30% of your media budget, spend millions reaching bots, the wrong people, or no one at all. Or just use 0 to 1. It knows who's ready to buy. It's over 85% accurate. Zero wasted spend. The future of marketing isn't guessing. It's knowing.
Right, just under 10 minutes to go until kickoff. So of course, don't forget, if you're watching along on our YouTube preview stream, then UK fans, you can pick up an audio pass to listen along with Matt and Dave on commentary. Or if you're an international fan, you can watch along for just £10 as well. Just head over to the Match Centre on the club website to pick up your pass right now. But let's take a look and see how Kevin Nolan's Northampton Town shape up for today's fixture. Starting it in goal for the Cobblers is Ross Fitzsimmons. So back three for them as well, with Max Dyche, Elliot Moore and Jack Perkins at the back. Sam Hoskins is the captain wearing the armband, and Nesta Guinness-Walker are playing in the wide positions with Terry Taylor and Dean Campbell in midfield. Tom Eaves is playing up front with Tyrese Forner and Cameron McGeehan also in the attack. On the bench for Northampton is Lee Burge, Conor McCarthy, Jack Burrows, Kamari Swire, Kyle McAdam, Elliot List and Jake Evans. They're in a bit of a weird one, Northampton. They've lost a couple, yes, but they've had some positive results in recent-ish history.
Yeah, no, they are, but look where they are on the table there. I think after their game in the week where they got beat by Lincoln, and Lincoln, we know what they are, they're a good side, they're second in the league. I think the frustration, listening to Nolan's interview yesterday, pre-game for today, he was frustrated that they got into good wide areas and didn't get the ball in the box. They sort of turned around and played backwards or messed around with the ball. So I think they're going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Every game in this league is tough, right? But every single game in this league is winnable. And I think today goes more on us than what Northampton can offer. We've got to be sensible. We've got to defend correctly. We've got to cut out these individual errors which has cost us so many points this season, and we've got to be switched on for the whole of the game, not just 45 minutes now. It goes into injury time. We concede a lot of goals in injury time in the first half and second half, so I think today it's more about us rather than what Northampton are going to do.
Let's take a look at some of the goals they've conceded, because they are, like we're other in their position for a reason. We need to go out and try and put on a show.
Yeah, I suppose. I'll take it being quite a boring show if we win. Yeah, we just need to start finding ways to grab the results. The style of performance doesn't really matter. We just need to grind out results, and that's something we haven't really done particularly well this season. Is find ways to win. So yeah, that will be the battle for us. But as you know, Glenn has said a couple of times, we just need to focus on ourselves. We can't dwell too much on what's gone and what's happened. We need to just do what we do well and try and shore ourselves up. It's obviously a big game for Will Dennis in goal, his first Football League start. He's obviously played a full season in Scotland, so good luck to him as well.
And looking at kind of the most recent away game in Stockport then. We touched on it already, but you do take a bit of credit from that, or maybe some positives. Tuesday night you write off and you look at that defensive performance, and even at times in the first half against Plymouth, there is signs of maybe a newfound bit of grit. We need to really kind of tap into that today.
We have to be solid, we have to be compact. Like Elliot says, I do not care about a show today. I do not care how we play. The result is the most important thing at this time of the season and where we are in the league. You say, like, can we be gritty? Can we sort of grind a win out or grind a sort of points out of this game? I'd love us to win 5-0. I think all the supporters would. I just think we need to be solid and compact and do the right things at the right time in the game. And if the other team are on top for a bit, we need to put the ball into the right areas and just have that football intelligence to say, right, okay, we can't get the ball down and play and we can't do what we want. Okay, let's get a bit of a breather. Let's put the ball up the other end of the pitch. Let's squeeze them up. We know Northampton are not a great side. We know if we put the ball into areas and let their defenders have it, we can go and, with the high press, and go and win the ball and try and make them make mistakes, because they're not full of confidence at the moment. So it's going to be a bit tit for tat. But I think today's game, we are going to come away from this surprised in a positive way, because I can see something big happening here.
I think it's, as you said there as well, it's reading the situation of the game when it is, and then making decisions, but with thought and intention behind it, not just putting it long for the sake of putting it long, but putting it long in areas where we can push everyone up, or for players to run into the channels, and being smart with it, which is maybe not something we've done particularly well recently.
Northampton have won this fixture the last 3 times by just a single goal. Richie has never beat Kevin Nolan.
But remember Matt Harrold's assist here, so let's focus
that was
on
the last time I was at Northampton. I was at that game, and Brophy scored the goal, didn't he, the winner.
So let's remember that.
Sure, and of course that late winner from Royal Stereo in 2024. Yeah. That was a great Tuesday night. But on paper, we've spoken about it. This is going to be a tough one, Glenn.
Yeah,
it can be tough. But we start right. We have the right body language. We have the right attitude. We go out there, stick to the game plan, because we've got a good manager, we've got good coaches. Listen to what they're telling us and instructing us to do, because it'll be really important that first 15-20 minutes that we're in the game, we're not making any silly mistakes. Let's be in the game. After that 20 minutes, let's see how the game settles down and how Northampton play, and then we can make an adjustment if we need to. But I'm really, really confident, and looking at the pitch, it don't look too bad.
It doesn't. Well, 3 points would be very much needed for the O's today, and the big game is very nearly upon us. So let's hand over to our match commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sixfields. It's a huge game for both the O's and the Cobblers, and both have made changes. There are 4 for the O's and 5 for the Cobblers, and we welcome yet another man in goal in the starting 11, Will Dennis, making his full debut, having come off the bench midweek against Plymouth Argyle. And I think it's going to be a change of formation as well at the back, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, I suspect the O's are going to go back to a back 5, which is interesting because Richie Whelan said after that Doncaster defeat he hates playing with a back 5, but I anticipate that's what we're going to see this afternoon. We'll find out soon enough, but what a game this is, Dave. Absolutely massive, absolutely crucial. The O's need